What version of the silver squeeze are we on right now? Is it 2.0, 3.0, 4.0? I've lost track, but one thing's for sure, it is in hyperdrive. In fact, it may even be on a controlled substance. We'll explain what happened with silver's price exploding today in this video as we explore. Silver has had a remarkable month, no question about that, and it continues to be quite sporadic and increasingly higher prices for silver, as we've seen the price got fairly close to $54 in the previous days before being smacked down dramatically. But now we are seeing silver climb up over 3% today, and right now, as I record this video, moments before the markets close, it is literally with $53 in the bid price, $53.12 in the ask price. That's a 12-cent spread between bid and ask, and that's really surprising in some ways, given the volatility of the market that we're seeing right now. But nonetheless, that's the world we live in, and I'm going to be talking about a different world that we live in too, and that's constitutional silver. Stay tuned, because there's going to be a change in this tube of brilliant uncirculated dimes. Stay tuned for that later in the video. Now, I'm going to be referencing an article here from Adrian Ash that gives a little insight as to what's going on behind the movement in silver's price today. And by the way, gold didn't do too bad either. It's up over $4,200 right now. The channel sponsor is Summit Metals, a great company to work with, fast shipping and excellent customer service. Check them out by clicking on the link in the description below. The silver squeeze in London bullion trading continued on Wednesday as the industrially used precious metal rose to another fresh record price alongside gold, while global stock markets bounced to a one-week high. So in other words, the stock market has bounced back after the fear of tariffs against China, but the silver market certainly is still alive and kicking today, no question about that, with the stock market up, with 148 points for the NASDAQ, only down slightly for the Dow Jones Industrial Average. The S&P 500 is up 26 points today, and the dollar index is down slightly, and silver is up. The boom in precious metals and base metal prices, as well as volatility, is attracting new flows from energy trading houses, according to attendees of London's LME Metals Week. That's the London Metals Exchange, by the way. Crude oil also had a 5-month low at around $62 per barrel of Brent crude. And what we are seeing with oil, it is now down. Regular crude is down to $58.57 a barrel. And copper has rallied as well, almost $5 per pound on the futures contracts, but silver is, in contrast, set its fourth new record benchmark price in a row, fixing above $52.46 per troy ounce at the midday in London, the world's trading center and storage hub for precious metals. And we saw gold surpass that $4,200 as well, but 1 month lease rates to borrow gold in London have now been positive for 2 weeks running, slipping from 0.6 to 0.3% annualized on Wednesday. Silver 1 month lease rates, meantime, halved to 14.1% overnight before rebounding to 24.2%, remaining historically high as silver market conditions stay tight. And tight is the key word here. That squeeze, that London precious metal squeeze here, silver squeeze, is in overdrive. It's on steroids right now. The discount to London price in New York silver futures also widened, growing by 10 cents per ounce on the December COMEX silvers contracts, traded $1 lower than wholesale bullion prices. In fact, right now, it's $52.54 in the futures price. That is a backwardation that is continuing to persist here, for sure. London's bullion's total trading volume in gold and silver rose only slightly last week. New data from Wednesday from Trade Association and the LBMA, up 0.9% and 2.1% respectively by ounces. And that followed the prior week's surge of 24.4% in gold trading and 21.5% in silver volumes and price. They want to get silver into the LBMA as fast as possible, trying to get it on airplanes and coming through. And I don't know if they'll be able to make it or not, but there was some easing to some degree. I'm hearing little bits and pieces here, but it's not enough, obviously, to keep the price of silver down below the $50 range. In fact, it just continues to climb up here. And so essentially this means that this squeeze is intensifying, and people are indeed reacting to that and trying to get in. They're getting their positions in the silver market as it moves. But the bullion market is a different scenario. Not all silver is the same, as we're finding out the hard way here now, as refiners are not accepting, and I'm not sure, I haven't read the latest there, but they are accepting. It's a long wait. Let's put it to you that way, for unrefined or silver that is not 999 pure. And even some of that is difficult to move in some cases for some shops around the country and maybe even around the world. But one thing that I'm looking at is my local coin shop is what they're hearing in the industry is a continued tightness in the market, and I think we're going to continue to see that. And lease rates up, and physical bullion difficult to come by for the London Bullion Market Association. The COMEX as well is certainly stressed out as well, but a lot of that silver is still there on the COMEX. So I don't think it's quite as much of a problem there, but we continue to watch and see what happens. But it's interesting to see what's going on with silver now. But remember, this is temporary. I don't know how long it's going to last. Some people think it could last into next year. My guess is it probably won't. But sooner or later, there's going to be a normalcy that will return in the market. And then what's going to happen after that is likely a consolidation of price, and then maybe a move back upwards again, is my guess. What those numbers will be is something that I need to assess and figure out for myself before I give you my opinion on it. But nonetheless, here we are. I'm still in a situation where I'm buying silver a little bit at a time. I started this little tube of uncirculated dimes, and my local coin shop continues to get some of these dimes in and constitutional silver. They're buying some of it, and they're moving some of it, but there's not quite as many people buying, I think, as selling the constitutional silver these days. Likely, probably around the country, if some shops are even taking it anymore. Some are not. I would encourage you to hold on to your constitutional silver. I still believe in it just as strongly as I did before, but if you can't liquidate it, it makes it very difficult, and you have to always assess the situation as whether or not you can liquidate something. Here we've got 6 silver uncirculated dimes we're going to add to this tube, and another one inside of this 2x2 we're going to take out and put in that tube right now, because why not take the time and enjoy. I got these for the exact same price that I got them for yesterday, when silver was right around $52 an ounce. So under spot then and under spot today. It's a good day to get silver under spot, that's for sure. No question about that. And I'm going to start with this dime right here. The Winged Liberty dime, the smallest, cheapest type of silver you can get. My local coin shop usually charges a bit of premium on these, but they had some unsearched stashes of it, and they allowed me to search through them to be able to add to this tube at regular constitutional prices. So there's another one in there. I'll put that in there. And then we've got this little... I always like my dime bags. Yes, indeed. I always love my dime bags. It always inspires me to crank a little Pantera as I pull the dime bags out. And I prefer that reference rather than a drug reference, because the only thing that's really high right now is the lease rates and the squeeze. So that's on steroids, not on pot, So here we go. There we go. And added to the tube, almost halfway filled up here. At this rate, we'll see how it goes, but a little addition there. So another exciting day for the silver market, with silver prices moving up dramatically today. And, they've actually since pulled back slightly. The high for today was $53.23 for silver. That was the high that we saw earlier in the day. But as the trading day comes to a close, it is pulled back somewhat. It is now only up $1.46 right now, 2.85%, which is a strong surge, no question about it. but it's at $53.01 for the ask price and $52.89 for the bid price. Still very good numbers, no question about it. And I think every day above $50 is a massive victory, and just tells you that this time is different. And I think what's propping up silver amongst the squeeze is inflation. I think we're starting to see that is what is propping up some of these prices, which is going to give us a bigger and higher support numbers than we've seen ever before in the history of the silver market because of inflation. Everything else that's concerning, that is causing silver's prices to rise, which includes obviously geopolitical tensions, future rate cuts, and all the stuff we've talked about before, are still in place. No question about that. But inflation is something else that we're seeing really solidify and back up this bull run for silver. And that's one of the reasons why I have been so excited about it this year. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. Hope you found this video informative, insightful, and educational. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to each and every one of you for taking the time to watch, and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.